All right. You guys, Tanya is sick tonight, so she cannot be the chair. So I've got the script and I'll run through the script, but I want you to know that I've got to use my dual screens to do it because I've got to toggle back and forth between the script, the agenda, and the presentation. Okay? So because of that, I can't open my laptop because when I do that, everything is on the one screen and I need things on two screens. Does that make sense?
Hey, hey, Principal Mitchell, this is Diane Jacoby. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Fine, thanks. Just in case y'all don't know who I am, I'm the school governance liaison for the district, so I'm just here to help and support. Generally, Principal Mitchell, what happens if the chair is unable to be at the meeting or lead the meeting, then it falls to the vice chair to lead the meeting.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that would be
Not
Miss,
here.
and she's not here, okay?
Yeah.
So then possibly even the secretary could lead it, but it's fine if the team agrees that you can kind of like read things, but it's generally better for not to have the principal leading the meeting.
I
Okay.
know the very first Go Team meeting I had to lead and chair, and it was a struggle.
Yeah,
I hope that tonight goes more smoothly. Thank you for
okay. Well,
being
I'm
here.
here to support. And you said Miss Weismer is your chair?
Yes, and she is actually ill. She had
Yeah,
to, she's an APS teacher, so she's sick.
yeah, I
Uh,
saw. I
we've got
saw.
Miss Johnson here. Miss Johnson, give me a thumbs up if you're prepared to take minutes. Miss Johnson?
As you may know, I put in the chat, I'm in the hospital setting with my mother.
Oh
Oh,
no, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
I know the meeting is recorded, so I will try to definitely get the minutes done. I just ask when we're voting and doing our motions that you can actually state your name so that I can make sure everything's captured correctly in the minutes.
that's perfect. We will do that.
Right.
All right.
So
So
can,
good evening. Welcome to the North Atlanta High School Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it was emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when speaking. I am pleased to call this meeting of North Atlanta's Go Team to order at 5:07. The first call of business is the roll call, and the secretary will take roll. Is it fine if I see who's here? Is it fine if I share that with Miss Johnson since she's can so we've got Donitra Quigley,
Present.
Megan Watson. Is it Megan or Megan?
It's Megan Watkins.
Okay, Megan Watkins,
Yes.
Laura LaHeff. Did I say it right?
Present. Yep.
Yay. Sue Kaysen, Alexander Chalk, our student representative, Sheena Porter,
Present.
and Angela Mitchell.
And Shawanda Johnson.
Yes, ma'am. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. There are 7 members, not counting myself, so we have a quorum. If there is a quorum present, proceed to action items on the next page. Oh, I wasn't supposed to read that, excuse me. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are online. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I approved the agenda from last week.
Megan Watkins seconds.
Donitra Quigley made the motion.
Ms. Johnson, Donitra Quigley made a motion to approve the minutes. Megan Watkins, second that motion. The minutes,
If there are any
if
nays,
there are any further corrections, if there are no corrections, may I make a motion to approve this previous meeting's minutes?
Yeah.
And I did share that with you on the email I sent today. Is there a motion to
I
approve?
think that's what we just did.
Oh, we just did that. Thank you. So
Yeah.
we have approved the minutes. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
I, Megan Watkins.
Aye, Porter.
Everyone approved, Miss
LaHeff.
Ms. Johnson, everyone approved. There are no noes or any abstentions. Our first action item is to approve the agenda. Do you all have a copy of the agenda? Do I hear a motion to approve this item?
Megan Watkins makes a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Sue Cosson seconds.
Sue Carson, second. All in favor?
Aye, Porter.
Aye,
Everyone,
Watkins.
I saw hands and I heard names. Everybody approved, Ms. Johnson. There are no noes and no abstentions. So now we will move to the discussion items on our agenda. All right. And the first, I want to share my screen. I'm going to share the presentation. And we'll start with that. Can everyone see my presentation? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the first thing that we want to discuss is our grad rate. Our grad rate improved, not by a whole point. It's 0.8 of a point, I think, if my math was correct in my head. But we did improve from 2004, so that's what we want. Our class, coincidentally, last year was the largest graduating class of North Atlanta High School's history. We graduated almost 600 kids, right at 590 something. So congratulations to all of us. And I know one of our Go Team members had a graduate last year. And now we need to talk about our strategic plan development. This is APS's, it's like their mission and vision. Who are we? We are Atlanta Public Schools. And why we exist, we to educate and empower Atlanta students to shape the future. Now I'm going to share North Atlanta, and this is the copy of the district strategic plan, which we've seen before. And I won't read all of this to you. You have access to the presentation, but this is everywhere. And our plan needs to fall in line with the district's. This is the district's key performance indicators. Remember, we looked at those last week, or I shared them with you last week. I think we're actually going to discuss them this week. And I love these goals. By 2030, we will increase the percentage of third grade students scoring proficient or above in ELA to 20 points. That will make the score 50. 50% of all of our third graders will be proficient. Keep in mind, you can quote unquote pass milestone EOC with a passing score at the high end of developing, but proficient in terms of high school is an 80 or better. So, and I know they don't score the elementary, the EOG like that, but 50%, right now we're at 30. By 2030, we will increase the percentage of 8th grade math students earning a score of proficient or higher by 20 points. And I think that will make that score 48. And I know that Ms. Quigley is happy about that because that means that overall, I think overall we are getting about half of our students proficient or higher from Sutton, but this will be wonderful for the district. And then by 2030, we will increase the percentage of students meeting at least one CCRPI college and career readiness indicator by 20 percentage points. These are our district's key indicators. You see absenteeism is an issue everywhere. Students having a sense of belonging is not really high. Our discipline is very good for the district. Discipline for students with disabilities is not quite as good, but it's still good. And we don't want to be disproportionate and have a suspend extreme, we don't want an extreme difference between the number of students with disabilities that we suspend or Black males compared to everybody else. So these numbers are really close. That's good. 56% of the students say they feel comfortable going to most or all adults in their building for help. I think the way that that's worded, if you want my 2 cents, is strange because no one's going to feel comfortable going to all or most. I think what they're trying to get at with that question or those questions from the survey is if students feel comfortable going to some, if they have people in the building that they can go to when they're in crisis. And then the percent of students with individual success plans right now is 0. And our school climate, only 19% of the schools in APS get a 4 or 5-star rating. North Atlanta is one of those schools in the 19%. And again, we're going to look at in a minute our school's mission and vision statement. This gives us purpose. This is who we are. Then we'll identify our focus areas, objectives, and key performance indicators that we want to look at. And you can see that's what the district's plan has done. They're looking at student achievement, absenteeism, college and career ready, and then what high leverage strategies will lead to the desired effect, results, That is what we're doing in the classroom. And this year we are doing explicit direct instruction. So for us, let's look at our mission and vision, our North Atlanta mission and vision, and let's discuss whether we need, if it is in line with APS's expectations, and if we need to make a change. I'm sorry, y'all. I got ahead of myself. This slide is just our old strategic plan. This is a sample. So this is what we'll be looking at. Let's move ahead. Okay, so we have reviewed our data. We did that last meeting, and I've got more data to share with you because the CCRPI results have been made public. So we're gonna take a deep dive into that during the principal's update, that portion of the presentation. I hope you got a chance to look at it. We've reviewed our data. Now we're gonna review our key performance indicators and align our mission and vision, our purpose to APS's and confirm our 2030 goals. So this is this is North Atlanta's key performance indicators. I sent this to you, so you should have been able to look at it. And right now, what do you all notice? Can we have a discussion about what you notice? There's one that is glaring to me. Let's look at student-staff relationships. Percentage of students who feel comfortable going to most or all adults in the building for help. We're about 20 points lower than the district here. I don't know how that happened, but we are working to change that now. We actually discussed it at faculty meeting and continue to think of ways to improve our student-staff relationships because the teachers are dedicated and this is the reason they're here. So if that's not being translated or transferred to our students, if our students aren't getting that, then we've just got to figure out a way to allow them to see that we are here for them. Any other thing, anything that anyone else noticed?
With the student teacher relationship question, maybe this is a little obvious. Do y'all ever in town halls or anything like that talk about directly that issue? Like, I don't know, maybe that's a little too obvious but I mean, is it something you have that communication just to reiterate in words that, you know, we're here, any of us are here, you can come to us. We want you to feel that you can come to anybody in the building. I mean, is that ever talked about?
Very good idea. We are going to add more town halls. There are just so many things that we want to do, no excuse, but we do need to have more town halls with the students. It's sometimes hard to get them together, but we can do that during advisement. Ms. Watkins, that's an excellent idea. And maybe we do need to have those type of discussions where the admin team has a meeting where we stand in front of the students, but maybe by grade level, we need to do it with some of their teachers and the admin team. Anything else you notice?
This is Laura Lahith. On the student-teacher relationship, again, I think there's a natural tendency for young people to be somewhat hesitant in approaching and wanting to talk about something that's difficult with a person that they see as an authority figure. So I think that's just kind of a natural barrier to entry in general. And then there's also kind of like the little bit of they hear counselors and teachers kind of say those things kind of repetitively. So I know that with my kids, there's kind of like a tendency to kind of like, yeah, that's like page 4 out of the handbook, mom, rolls their eyes and kind of keeps it moving. There's just a kind of, it's all a very theoretical, talked about thing that they're aware of. And they kind of gloss over the actual impact that it might have to an actual real person. It's all very theoretical for them. And I don't know whether that's a North Atlanta thing because it's maybe a more privileged school. So I don't know how you kind of break that barrier.
That is something to think about. And if you see our climate star rating, we have a 4. 5 is perfect. We have a 4. And that comes from a climate survey that parents complete, students complete, and teachers complete. So I find it hard for this number, 38.6, to be so low when we have 4 stars because on some survey, students are rating us very high. So I guess there needs to be more discussion, like Ms. Watkins said. Maybe we need to do more education about the purpose of the survey. I don't know if students actually take the survey seriously. There's always that. And then in real life, you're right, Ms. Lahith, there's always hesitation to come to an authority figure and share with them things that are happening and challenging in their lives. So this is an area that we're going to continue to work with. We discussed it at faculty meeting, or I shared the data. So we haven't had deep conversations, but the first step was to share the data. Alexander, yes, I want to hear from you as a student.
Hi, sorry. I do think Miss Quigley's hand was up first if she wanted to go. I feel bad. I don't want to.
Go
Okay.
ahead, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. I will say, was this the most recent survey that we took, like the in advisement the other day, or is this something different?
This is a survey. This is survey data from last school year, I imagine.
Okay, okay.
This document was shared a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago.
Okay. In terms of just like in general, coming from a student who's taken a lot of surveys, for like North Atlanta. I think one thing that we could work on in terms of just uh kind of how we present these surveys, I think conveying the importance of the survey to the students, like it just for example, with the most recent one, at least in my like advisement, there was a big emphasis on just getting it done. It was like, you know, do this survey, like I want my class to have 100% participation, do your survey. But I don't think there's enough emphasis on how important these surveys are to determining how we actually construct our solutions to issues within the school. So I
Mhm.
think if that was communicated to the students more, whether that's like you communicating to teachers, you know, make sure to tell your students that these results are what will change, you know, how we go about certain things or how we, you know, I just feel like if students knew how important it was, they would take more time to answer more honestly, and you'd get a little bit less skewed feedback. I think that's just, I'm not saying any of this is wrong. I'm just saying I feel
No, no,
like,
no.
you know, personally knowing a lot of the students, I don't know if that's, you know, exactly seeing some of this. I don't know if that's exactly how they would feel in terms of, you know, student staff relationships.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Quigley?
Yeah, that was very well said, Alexander. And I was just gonna add something to how students respond to that. I think, Dr. Mitchell, you said earlier that the way the question was posed is a little interesting and it can skew some of the results. But the other thing is the way the question is posed, it's saying like anybody in the building. And Ms. Lahef, sorry, was saying that her kids kind of like eye roll, it doesn't really matter. But what I will say in my experience, um, students don't go to a lot of the adults in the building. That's absolutely true. But they will have one or two. There will be one or two adults in the building that they feel like they can go to that. And it's not always the counselor, it's not always the school psychologist, it's not always the nurse. Sometimes it's like one of their favorite teachers who will sit there and listen to you during lunchtime, or they'll come
Okay.
after school or before school or whatever. But I know I've had several students currently and over the years who will just come and talk to me about whatever is happening with their life. And so I don't think it's like everybody in the building, because not everybody's going to get along with everyone, which is just normal. But I do believe that students can find one or two adults in the building that they actually feel safe and comfortable enough to talk to, who they feel like that person will hold on to what it is that they have to say and can help them move forward with whatever it is.
So we will take a climate survey, I think around January. To Alexander's point, and Ms. Quigley, Ms. Porter, let me know as advisement teachers, would this be something? Before we do the survey, if we had an advisement session and just a brief presentation, some slides that you share so students can understand the importance of the survey, uh, the purpose of the survey, how these results impact North Atlanta, do you think that they would take it more seriously if we did that prior to actually giving the survey?
Do we think the teachers or the students would take it more seriously, or
The
both?
students, if we make a presentation, give it to advisement teachers to share in advisement prior to doing the survey.
I think that's fine if it's like a one slider.
Okay.
So if, we're just letting students know that this is important, this is how we use this information, we care about you and your voice matters. It's something like that, that's just
Yeah.
really targeted, and let them know what it's about. And then also, I will say that in this last survey, like what Alexander was saying, the one that we just did this week, this one first it felt rushed, and then it felt like we're just trying to hit some numbers. Honestly, it felt like that. So, like, and I'm coming from the teacher standpoint, and then I heard what Alexander just said as a student. So I think that if we give like just a one slider that says, this is important, this is why it's important, this is how we're going to use this information, then I think students would receive that better.
How
I'll
do we,
also, sorry.
go, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just even more to Miss Quigley's point, the survey was presented to my class in a way that was literally my advisor, which don't go look who my advisement teacher is because I don't want to get them in trouble. But
I won't.
my advisement teacher literally said, um, we're aiming for 100% participation. Like, I don't care what you put, just make sure you finish the survey. And I feel like by presenting it that way, we're not getting, we're obviously not going to get proper results from that. And it's just, yeah, I feel like I completely agree. Like a one slide quick thing that says, and even if you put on there, like, last year's survey helped us do this specifically. Like if you have an example of something we've changed or done because of these surveys, I think that would like make it really tangible for students to see, oh, these actually have an impact.
Okay, very good discussion. So I'm hearing you say that students need more information prior to the climate survey, and it sounds like our teachers need a little bit of coaching on how to present the survey. And that's, I received that, and we will do better this January. Are there any wonderings from this data?
I have one. First, 2 points I just wanted to make. I love the fact that the district is aiming to increase teacher salaries to continue to do that. That is fantastic. I love that. And I also love the fact that the retention rate for teachers is so high at 85% and still trying to go up. I think, or I mean, the amount of experience. I just think the fact that that just is a testament to the school and the atmosphere that, teachers are staying and getting those long-term experiences at the school. I think that's great. In terms of percent of engaged staff, what does that mean? Does that mean extracurricular activities? What exactly is?
I suspect that came from the AMP Up survey that the students took. There's an AMP Up survey that I'm not for sure where it comes from. I've put it in my newsletter. There's a survey that's open for parents the entire month of November. If any of you would like the parents need the link to the survey at the end of the meeting, I'll share it with you. Students have been taking the survey, and at some point this month, staff will take the survey. I suspect it's the way that we're answering the survey questions. I'm not for sure, but we did briefly talk about this in faculty meeting. And Quigley, Ms. Porter, you tell me, do we need to have more? Do I need to share more information about this with the staff? Why it's important? I don't want the staff to feel coached. I want them to give their authentic answers. I wish that that survey, there is survey data from the staff and APS graphs, but I don't know how well it correlates to this. But of course, there's a lot of there are many things that we can do to improve the working conditions for our teachers. We're not a perfect school, but if you all could make a suggestion on what I can do as a principal, on what the admin team can do to help people feel more comfortable about doing the survey and completing it about the school and not about personal, I don't know. I see that smile, Ms. Quinn. What I don't want is, I don't want the teachers to make the survey results about me. That if there's a problem with me, they can definitely report that to Mr. Davis. And I welcome that. This is really about engagement with our students and our schools.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the answer is to that. I would actually talk to you offline about that, Dr. Mitchell.
Okay.
But I don't mean to like dismiss the question, but I had a comment or something that I observed that I thought was which was the student safety or the safety perception. And it shows grades 6 to 12. So that includes the middle school, and it's around 58%. That is a bit concerning to me. Like it says, to me, that says like kids don't feel all that safe, like somewhat safe, but not the safest. So that's concerning to me. I want our students to feel safe in school. I want to feel safe in school as an educator. And so I wish we could like drill down into that and see what it is exactly that's making them feel, for those who are feeling unsafe, like what that is. You know, is it like some other students? Is there some bullying happening? Is it like everything that's happening in the news and people are concerned with that coming into our school? Like, why is it, do they not feel safe? So that's something that's making me say,
I've just made myself a note to go back to our family engagement specialist at the district to ask her about the survey data that we get, because that must be where some of these key performance indicators are coming from. So I'll try to find out the origin, and maybe that will help us figure out how to improve. If we could see what was being asked. What I do know is that North Atlanta has the best discipline. For us to be almost twice as big as every other high school, or at least 800 students larger than some of the larger high schools, we have the lowest discipline in the district. We, in terms of finding weapons at school and that sort of thing, we are very safe. But I see that data, the students don't, and the teachers may not even be aware, but we have a safe school. So I'm going to try to find out where these questions came from. I know who to ask. Are we on track? Do you all, yes, ma'am.
Hey, this is Laura Lehev. On the students feeling safe, I know that my twin boys, since they have been in elementary school, whatever classroom they're in, they have formulated an escape plan for when something goes wrong. And that's been from when they were under the age of 10. And they have one for North Atlanta for their classes as well. And so do their friends. And it's something they talk about. So they don't feel safe, but they talk about kind of like what they can do to control their solution for it, which is weird and messed up.
I agree.
But that's kind of where their heads are at.
My niece is in 7th grade, and she has a plan too. I think this is very sad. I never thought about this in school.
Yeah.
Do you believe
It's very normal for them to have a plan, an
yeah,
escape route plan.
it's a requirement now, basically, by like the state. Like, it's part of our training at the beginning of the year, every year. We have to know how to escape, how to respond to any kind of threat that happens at the school. It's a requirement.
Oh, I mean, they have clocked out that if they're on the 2nd floor, they could jump into the bush that's underneath that window and make their own escape.
that
Like,
breaks my
Interesting.
heart to hear, but
Yes.
I know where we are and what the times that we are in.
I don't know who makes these questions, but maybe there's a way in the future to formulate the question to kind of be able to parcel that piece out of it, just the times we're in versus the specific building, and what the steps North Atlanta is doing to make everybody feel safe. Do you feel safe with those steps versus just safety in general, which sadly is probably not going to be that high.
Yeah. When we look at these key performance indicators, do you feel like we are on track?
I have a wondering that is related to that question, but I see Diane Jacoby's hand is up, and I don't know if she needs to jump in.
Hi, just really quickly, I apologize, I missed a little bit of the conversation, but it sounds like you're talking about the school climate survey and where some of these I feel safe at school questions come from. So a couple of things in the information we sent out for your meeting, we gave you a link to all of the key performance indicators, this sheet, so you guys could review it beforehand. But in that folder, at the base of that folder is also a file, and I'm going to put the link for it, of the key performance indicators the definitions. So you know where each one of these indicators is coming from, how the district's measuring it. And then I also have for you the Georgia Student Climate Survey is where these questions are coming from. So this is from the state of Georgia. So here's information about the 25-26 Student Climate Survey and some additional information about that, about how the Georgia DOE measures school climate and those questions.
Thank you.
Is that helpful, y'all?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
I've never seen the survey question, the student survey question. But I can also admit I haven't looked to see them. I haven't looked for them. So this is interesting information, and I don't know if that's part of the file, but I'm going to take a look.
Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, I think as a principal level, you can get the data from these responses for your school.
Like for each question, students and teachers and parents?
I don't, probably,
Okay.
largely because this is a government document and we know from that government entities have to share their information, right? So
Get this, I don't know how much of it I can share, but at our next meeting, I can at least tell you give you a little bit more information, even though she's put the where the data comes from, each question. I can give you more information by our next Go Team meeting, which is December 10th, I think. Dr.
Carson,
Hi.
thank you. I appreciate that. I am wondering about the English learners, how the school is planning to meet that growth.
I've got
percentage.
data to show you from this 25 CCRPI,
Okay.
and we can talk about what we've done so far. We
Okay.
have a plan. It's a very detailed plan.
Mhm.
We are practicing listening, reading, speaking, and writing in
Okay.
all of our ELA classes with our ESOL students. I asked the staff on Tuesday to practice everywhere, wherever
Yeah.
those students are, because
Yeah.
we actually did really, really well the year before 2024. And you'll see, I've got 2024 answers. And then last January, our scores plummeted. I won't talk about why I think that happened, but if you think back to what was going on in January, we had a hard time getting students to school to take that test. And that was a tumultuous time. So hopefully this year will be a little better.
Okay. That's it's just kind of a dramatic shift that's needed then.
25 points,
Yeah.
but I'll show you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
And that brings me to my next question, are there specific subgroup performance gaps? Well, we know that our English learners, and you'll see, we've got to do better there. And you will see when I share our CCRPI data with our closing gaps, we did not do well last year with closing gaps. So in full transparency, I'm going to share that with you and tell you what we're doing. So you'll have that information. We can discuss that too. Outside of the instructional core, what could be a focus area for us? No suggestion?
I mean, I'm all for fomenting a sense of belonging.
I think so too. All right, so we'll keep going. I read this before, but now we're going to look at our school's mission and vision. And it's here. Can you all see that? Through a nurturing culture that embraces equity and diversity, promotes academic rigor, and fosters integrity, North Atlanta High School will develop inquiring, responsible, and caring young adults who will graduate college and career ready. APS's statement shows who they are. Do you feel like this shows who we are as at North Atlanta High School, a high school with a very old and established IB program? Are we good?
I like it.
Okay. And then the note said we didn't have to change if you all like it. And our vision, North Atlanta High School, through holistic learning and collaboration among engaged students, educators, families, and community, will foster an environment of critical thinkers who are globally and culturally aware. All right, so I think that we are aligned with the district. Does everybody agree? You can give me a thumbs up if you agree. So we don't have any changes. And now let's look at our strategic plan goals, which I've shared with you. So one of the goals was about our average daily attendance in our continuous improvement plan for this year. We want to improve it by 3 percentage points. Right now, we're on par to do that, but we are monitoring it because we got a lot of school left. Our next goal is to implement Tier 1 instruction and the really explicit direct instruction so that we can improve proficiency and above on performance on GMAS by 6 percentage points. When I show you the past percentages, they are in a previous PowerPoint presentation, but we can always revisit that. We want to improve every subject proficient and distinguished by 6 percentage points this year. We want to, the percentage of ESOL, EL students, Hispanic students, and students with disabilities who graduate in 4 years will increase by 3 percentage points or higher for each of those subgroups from January 2025 to January 2026. And that's part of our school improvement plan, our continuous improvement plan. So we have a plan to talk about that. And I do want to share that tomorrow in our administrative team meeting, we're going to revisit all of those goals because we check in periodically to see where we are. And I can update you all on our continuous improvement plan at our next meeting. And then the last goal, during the 25-26 school year, we will increase the percentage of students in cohort 2028. So this will be next year's seniors, they're juniors now, who will graduate college and career ready by 7%, with a focus on increasing the number of minority students who complete 2 or more courses, IB courses during their junior and senior years. So IB starts junior year, you all know that, which is why we are looking 2 years out, because we're working with the juniors now. It would be too late for us to start with that goal with seniors, because they would have had a lot of our IB classes are 2-year classes. So we wouldn't be able to meet that goal if we were focusing on seniors. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Mitchell, are you saying that the class of 2028, that's sophomores right now, right?
Oh, thank you. So they aren't even juniors yet. You're right. This is 2 years out because we're trying to encourage them to do IB. Thank you, Ms. Quigley. Oh, wait. Come on. Okay, so I looked at, and these are just examples. They are not perfect at all, but I looked at our continuous improvement goals and tried to start drafting strategic plan goals that we could have for long term. So I like that we're looking at the percentage of students who are not chronically absent. You notice that our goal is about average daily attendance. which our average daily attendance is about 90%. But when I dug deeper, when looking at our CCRPI data, what counts more than average daily attendance is the percentage of students who are not chronically absent. And chronically absent is defined by students who miss 10 or more days. So right now, you saw in the key performance indicators, 71% of our students last year did not miss 10 or more days. So that means 29% missed. And we need to improve that to 86%. So I made that a goal related to attendance.
One comment on that, the meeting that y'all had in October with the attendance counselor, I thought that was great. I learned a lot of information there. I've been here 5 years and I learned things in that meeting I didn't know before. So I think that was a great thing to implement, and I could suggest continuing that for new parents as they come in.
Okay, very good. We will continue. We have one person now on our team. We hadn't been doing that. We had an administrator who worked with attendance, but administrators work with a lot of things. So attendance was just sometimes not the main priority. Well, we have someone who does nothing but, in this Go team, some of the members who were on the Go team, I think we hired her school year 23, 24. Yes. So, or was it 24, 25? I think we hired her 24, 25. So this was not my brainchild. It was Mr. Douglas's. And you all approved that. The people who are here from that time approved that hire. But we have someone who works with nothing but attendance all day, and it is making a difference. By 2030, the percentage of proficient or above learners as assessed by GMAS, Georgia Milestone Assessment System, EOC, in Algebra 1 biology and Lit 2 will increase I want it to be in line with the district's expectations. Right now, our Algebra 1 scores, remember, we were at 45%. Last year, we dropped. We're at 31%. So I'm saying over the next 5 years, we will get to be at 50%. I really want to be higher than that. But I do believe that half of the students who take Algebra 1 should be proficient when they leave the subject. I wish all of them would be. I don't know that we're there we won't be there yet. We can work towards that goal. Biology is already at 50%. So I said that their goal would be 60%. And we don't have any data for Lit 2 because this is our baseline year. So I don't know where we are for that. But if we are over 60%, which at one point we were at 72% of our students in taking American Lit were proficient or higher, we had a really high score. So if the data is much higher than I think, then we can change that because we may exceed it. And we don't have to keep any of these goals. This is just what I was working on. We can tweak any of them. Goal number 3, by 2030, the percentage of English learners with a typical or high access student growth percentage will improve from 61.9% to 72.6%. We have to do that anyway. When you see our CCRPI data, you will understand why this is so important. And I've learned a lot about how access counts for us. So that's something that we have to do. And it will help everything else. The more students have acquisition of the language, the better they're going to do in every area. And then the 4th goal, by 2030, the percentage of high school students in AP, IB, or dual enrollment will increase from 58% to 65%. And I think that we can beat that. You all know that last year, one of the big things, one of the big things that I wanted to put in place was to increase our minority enrollment in the IB program. And we are set this year, every junior is taking IB History of the Americas. We are planning in a year or 2 for every junior also to take an IB English language SL. So we're putting a plan in place so we can get them ready for that. That will be their 3rd year English class, not Lit 3. And I'm hoping that if we do that, we will have some students who will carry on to year 2. How do you all feel about these goals? Is there something you'd like to change with my examples? We're not married to these, and we've got time. We're not finalizing a plan until I think the next meeting 3, or maybe we finalize at the January meeting. This is just a copy of the old strategic plan from 20 to 25. And it was in line with the district's priorities then. Reading the current, are there any additional goals that we would like to include? Are there any edits to our goals? And if you don't want to think, if we can't do that in real time, Ms. Jacoby, can we come back to the meeting with our thoughts? If the team needs to process this, can this be a part of our discussion the next meeting?
So at the next meeting, because you guys are on business meeting 2, at the next meeting, you're going to be talking about all of those objectives under those 6 domains. So this is just that really high level. These are those SMART goals. It's probably better for y'all to take the time to talk about it now if you can.
Okay.
Based off of a couple slides back, I think you had the or even the previous slide, it was the key performance in your CIP goals, and just if you needed any additional goals, like
Okay.
if you can go back to the previous slide, I believe, please. Which one? This one. Like, so are these 4 goals sufficient for you guys as those big goals, or do you feel that maybe you're already at 4? Did you need any more? And I will be honest with you, you don't want to go too many more. Like if you think you need anything else, maybe 1, but you do want to keep it probably under 6. And if you feel that you need more than that, then I would highly recommend bringing in people from our strategy team, either Shalifa Champion or Travis Norvell, to help you maybe consolidate some of those goals if you feel you need more than 6.
Okay. 3 of these goals, 3 of the 4 are academic. 1 is about attendance. What is missing here is the student-staff relationship piece. So we could have 1 additional goal about that, or scrap one of these. You all tell me.
I like all the ones that are here now. I would vote to keep those. I understand adding the 5th, and I mean, I would be open to that too, related to the relationships, but I like all of these here already.
Agreed. I would not get rid of any of these goals.
Okay.
Agreed.
Thank you. So if we want to, went too fast. If we want to add a staff or student relationship goal, we can. I am hesitant to do it right now because I feel like I need to look at the survey data in a little bit more detail before I say that I want to understand where it came from. Now, I know we need our goals and we're going to come up with our objectives. Can we table adding an additional goal since we decided on the 4 to next week? We know we want those. Is that good, Mr. Kobe?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as the team's in agreement with that, I just don't want you feeling like, oh, we're going to put all the goals and table them all until next time. So like if the team is in agreement that is the one goal around that staff and student relationship, and everybody can have a chance to look at the data. I did put the links for the 2024 Georgia School Climate Survey in the chat. Then you guys can talk about that goal at the top of your next meeting.
Okay.
Because you're still building the plan, and the final vote on it is not until your 4th meeting.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
and I see Lahif, Miss Lahif?
Yes.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I'm not sure that this is a specific goal or more something that kind of touches into possibly each of the goals that are already on there. But I wanted to share with the group something that I witnessed in my house this week, where I have two different learners and everybody learns in a different way. And I saw my husband, and in this age, it seems we are kind of like at this precipice of AI. And currently, a lot of us have a monster under the bed kind of relationship towards the AI, where we know very little about how it's actually going to impact us. And a lot of it is kind of a little bit disconcerting. But this week in my house, I saw boys who needed to study for AP Human Geography, large test, and they're both very different learners. And my husband took their study guides and fed it into a note language model AI tool, and he uploaded their study notes and their stuff, and it created for each of them an individual. One of them got it in a video format. They got flashcards. It was the most adaptive use of AI that I've personally seen on a one-to-one kind of like learning basis. And I could see each boy interact with what had been created for them from a very simple kind of AI tool. And I thought it was super impressive and really impactful. And if we could have the kids know how to do that for themselves, because he was teaching them how to make these things for themselves. But that seems like something that could impact our kids wanting to come to school, doing better in their tests, being more engaged in their classes, knowing how to serve themselves better, and have kind of like a lot more kind of agency on the way they impact their own learning results.
Thank you.
That's
for that.
it.
APS is, I think that in order to train students to do that, we've got to make sure the staff can do that. And APS is offering some training. I have in the budget, I did totally sidebar. I see that I have more money in field trips than I need. So there are a series of workshops that we can send teachers to all over the country. We're going to discuss it in admin team meeting. One of those conferences workshops was an AI workshop to pick a team of teachers to go learn and then re-deliver to us. So we're going to, as we get better, we will be able to do that for our students. Teach them all the ways to make AI work for them. Strategic planning will help you fully uncover your available options, set priorities for them, and define the methods to achieve them. So that this is very important. Are there any questions right now about our 4 goals that we like and the one goal, the one thing that we may add next meeting, the one goal? All right, thank you. All right, so we're at the point now where it's the principal's report, and I want to share this CCRPI data. Overall, okay, I'm going to go back and edit this presentation because I say the overall score decreased 9 points. But you all know I was a math teacher, so I calculated the score because I know how much each portion counted, and I did the math. So GOSA has not put out an overall score, and I'm not for sure they will. So I really do need to edit that and take that away because that's Angela Mitchell. That's not the state of Georgia. But by my calculations, we would drop about 9 points. Our content mastery progress and closing the gaps decreased. And it basically is because our milestone EOC scores decreased in every subject and our access scores decreased. And when I show you the areas where we were hit the hardest, you'll understand why. Our readiness last year and graduation rate increased, and readiness really just refers to the senior class. So it increasing had to do with things that were put in place before the seniors were seniors, and our graduation rate increased a little. This is our progress data broken down, and you can find this on the CCRPI page. It's public now. Last year, we had a growth score of 69.88 in ELA. Even though our math scores decreased, I want you to know that we had 100% growth. Our kids did. So, and Miss Quigley is a member of the Algebra 1 team, so I want to thank you all for your hard work. The score, we didn't do, our achievement wasn't what we wanted, but growth actually was very good. We met our target at every level with every subgroup group with our growth. That's right, Miss Quigley. Yes, ma'am. You all deserve all the credit. You smiling big. And this, the progress towards English language proficiency, you see it dropped. I said 25 points. It actually dropped 23.8 points. This is our access data. And I want to show, I know that Sue will really understand this because she works with this. These are our achievements. So the goal here is to have more students move more than one band. You see only 14% of our students last year grew more than one band. That's where we want our students to be. So what our master teacher leader for ESOL has done is she's gotten every student in our building. We know where they were last year. We know how many students grew one band, no band, less than one band, no positive movement. We've already put those in categories. They have a plan in the ESOL communications class for all the students who moved, well, for all the students, but we're focusing on the ones that had no positive movement. They actually take communication. So we are practicing listening, practicing reading, practicing speaking and writing. Our goal is for every student to at least move. We want them to move to more than one band. And because we didn't have a good showing, we dropped. You'll see I've got the 24 scores here, so I'll show you those two. And with our closing gaps, we dropped about 30 points. And this is our subgroup performance, guys, and it pains me. It hurt me to put this slide here because I don't like this, but I know that we are addressing it this year, and it won't look like this again. For one, we're not offering American Lit anymore. The test in American Lit, excuse me, we're still offering the class. They won't test in American Lit. I like that they're testing in Lit too. Those are sophomores. It feels like I like that all of the EOCs now will be done by sophomore year. With freshmen, we have a lot of control. We can get them to come to work with us. The freshmen are, I hate to say control, but we have more control. The parents have more control. They partner with us. We can get them to come to tutorial sessions and Project Hope. We could not get juniors to do that. So my goal is for us to start our Project Hope in January. Project Hope is something that we created here. We pick students who are not the proficient students or the distinguished students. We pick developing students who are, or beginning students who are on the bubble from their last standardized test. And they come to school, they don't have attendance issues, they don't have discipline issues, and we convince their parents that they need to stay with us after school. This has worked for us before. So I'm hopeful that we're identifying students now for Project Hope so we can get them there. We give them test taking strategies, we review things. It's a milestone review from January to the beginning of April to get them ready for the test. And the 1 year we had success with this, every student who was either beginning, they were beginning or developing, every single student was proficient by the time they took the EOC, and one student was distinguished. So we know that if we identify the right kids and give them the support, they will grow. So we're doing that. And we're doing that in Lit 2 biology and Algebra 1. We will not be testing in U.S. history. Remember, our scores will come from the juniors taking IB history of the Americas. So we should have, I want more green next year. This is our 2025 CCRPI information, and you will see that progress is an issue. We lost a lot of points in progress, and we lost a lot of points in closing gaps. So I want to show you that. Our progress for 2024, if you look, you see we had 74.72% of our English language students progress towards proficient. We're going back to do those same things again. We're explaining to the students how important the test is. We meet with the ESOL students in small groups, talk to them about the importance of the test. We have incentivized, I'm not going to lie to you, we have incentivized those students. Everybody who grows 2 or more bands gets a ticket to Six Flags. Everybody who grows 1 band gets something. I can't remember what it was, but the year we grew like this much, we had those incentives and they worked. These are our flags from last year with Closing the Gap. You see a lot more green, and it is my mission to make sure that we look like this again. And I'll be honest with you, we had gone so high. What happens is we had over met targets, which is always good, but we met the target. We went over what the district said, and a lot of places, the state said was our target. And you only go higher the next year, and we were not able to sustain that going higher. So I'm hopeful that this year will be a lot different. And I want to share some things that we put in place to maintain our 4 stars on our climate survey. I really want, my goal is always perfection. I want 5 stars, but I definitely don't want us to get lower than 4 stars. So we are implementing parent workshops. In the past, we had 1 parent mini-versity, and it was at the beginning of the school year. So we decided I decided with our parent liaison that instead of doing 1 big parent mini-versity that's not well attended on a Saturday, we will do virtual parent meetings every month. And our first one was for 9th and 10th grade parents. It was well attended. There were over 100 parents there in the Zoom. 2 nights ago, we did How Do I Help My Struggling Reader and Math Student. We may have to do that one again after the next MAP administration. That's how we identified the parents. It wasn't as well attended, but there were a number of parents there. We wanted to share the scores with the students and then invite those parents who we know we identified the students performing low on the map. So we may need to revisit this again after the next map. Our next workshop is January 7th, and it's about graduation requirements and credits, but it is not for upperclassmen. It is for 9th and 10th graders, because that's where the work starts. I think a lot of times we miss an opportunity with our 9th graders. I want to convey that 9th grade year does count. You can't mess up your GPA in 9th grade. So we're going to do that and start the conversation about what happens or what are you doing after college so we can start planning. Another thing that we've done for our students is start a recovery effort. We did not do this by as frequently. We did it with the first year they did it. It was a freshman refreshment, and it was so successful. So then we started doing one for seniors in the spring of the year to help people get over the hump. Well, now we're doing one for every grade level, first and second semester. So we're adding, and thanks to you guys for voting on the tutorial money, the money that we put on the line for tutorial, we can afford this. So we're paying teachers to come. We've had 10th grade was very well attended, 9th grade was well attended, 11th grade is this Saturday, and I think seniors will be the first Saturday in December. We are going to I think the idea actually originated with the PTSA. Megan, you were in that meeting. They want to do a video to show all of the wonderful things that happen here at North Atlanta. We have to tell our own story. And so many good things are happening in the building between 8 and 4. But parents don't see those things and we don't highlight them enough. So then I went to a foundation meeting that next week and they literally said the same thing. We need a video. So I think that will be a good idea. I've got to work with the communications chair in PTSA so we can start working out how we will film that. But I want parents to see, we have a lot of engaged parents, but for the parents that don't know what goes on in the building, I want them to see what we're doing in our classes, because I think that this is a really special place and we got a darn good staff. And then I this year am doing parent newsletters, and I don't know if I'm getting them out or using the right avenue to get them to parents. I don't know if people are reading them, but I'm churning along and learning and figuring it out as I go. I've had one every month. I will have a December. I'm working on December now. I want them to look different each month. I haven't figured out how I want it to look, so we're just playing with the look. But I will try my best to get it out through the Warrior Weekly, and they're all on the app. So, and I send a message home to say the newsletter is out on the app if you can check it out. But I think that I do a teacher highlight, a staff highlight. I need to do more of that. Their pictures. If any of you would like a copy of the newsletter, please email me. I'm happy to share it.
I will say, Dr. Mitchell, the one that y'all just did with everybody's, I think that was part of maybe that was in the Monday notes, but the one with everybody in their Halloween costumes, that was really fun. Like all the teachers, you had teachers in different Halloween, that was fun.
I don't know if you follow the North Atlanta Instagram page, but if you follow, they were all there too. Please follow our social. We don't have the North Atlanta Facebook page is PTSA run, and we thank them for that. We only have one social media that we run, and it's an Instagram. I need to put the Instagram in my in the Facebook in the signature of my email.
I love the newsletters, and I love the app. I love that you're just putting communication out there all over the place. I think I've heard from a lot of people that have appreciated that increase in communication. So I think I've been hearing really good feedback about it.
I appreciate you. I'm trying. I want us to be open to parents. I want all of the information to be accessible. I literally sit in my office when I'm here with my door open, because if a staff member needs to pop in, if my door is open, come in and talk to me. I want people to come to me with their concerns. My door is open for students. Students come see me all day, so much so the front office clerk was like, "Do you want me to stop them from coming back?" I said, "No, I do not. I want them to come back." So I want to be available to the community. I want our teachers to be open and provide information in a proactive way instead of reactive. And we really want to partner with parents. That's the big picture, because I know that we can't do what we're trying to do without you all. We need you. So Tanya is not here, and she is our comprehensive long-term facilities team member. So there's not much I can say about this. All of these meeting dates have passed, unfortunately, because our meeting was afterwards. I don't think, as she stated at the last meeting, I don't think for our individual school we have any changes. Are there any questions?
So if I may, Principal
Yes,
Mitchell,
ma'am.
just really quickly, there are meeting dates coming up about the APS Forward 2040, that long range facilities plan. There are some that started tonight at 6 about middle schools. I'm going to put all of those dates. These are visioning meetings. And you can look on the website, and what they're going to be talking about are things like early college, technology, vocation and trades, arts, and biomedical pathways. So
Mhm.
that's going to be discussed at these events. And then there is a public meeting on December 3rd at 5:30. Where people can come and give the board their comments around this. You can find everything at that APS 2040 website. All presentations, updates, all of the meeting dates are all there.
Thank
So I just want to make sure that y'all know that not everything has passed with this. That slide was what we knew at the time that we made this deck. The first team to go through this deck, I think, was around October 2nd or 3rd. So
In the meantime, we're doing it in the middle of November, but we
yeah,
got,
and again, you guys are not off cycle or off schedule. I don't want to make it sound like that. There are 68 teams. Every team does a little differently. And so depending upon when you pulled the deck is the deck you got. And and Principal Mitchell will attest to this. All these meetings sometimes are done like 2 days beforehand. So if you want the most updated information, that APS 2040 website is your most accurate place to always go for that information.
thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions?
I had a question. It actually is for Ms. Wismer. But thank you, Ms. Jacoby, for sending that link over. I think I'll find my answer in here. I know that one of the schools that was supposed to be consolidating is Sutton. And they had proposed that Sutton the 6th grade campus, go to a pre-K to 8. And in my brain, that sounds crazy. So I was looking in here to see if that's still the case or if that got approved, which it
No.
sounds like they're still discussing it.
Sutton's been
So-
taken off. There's not gonna be any changes to Sutton.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking right now and it looks like I don't see their name anymore. So that's why I was like, I think this document answers my question. But yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So if there are no questions, then I do want to share that our next meeting is Wednesday, December 10th, because remember we had to add a date. So that one is not on a Thursday like we normally meet. It's on a Wednesday. That one is not public comment. I do want to ask, let me open the script. Did anybody post a public comment in that, in our forum, Ms. Watkins?
No, not that I'm aware of. I did
Okay.
not get any notifications, so no.
Okay. Does anyone have any announcement? Ms. Johnson?
But if I can do one quick announcement,
Yes,
please
please.
remember to complete your training on Monday night. We are going to have part 2 of the orientation if you haven't already done it. You have to do part 1 online first. That's asynchronous. You can do that between now and Monday night. And then Monday night at 5:30, we're offering that live portion so you can finish that training if you haven't. So if you have any questions, please reach out to our office and I'll be more than happy to help you.
Wait, I think that training, does it carry over? Because it's in Frontline, right? Or am I making that up?
It's in Ellis, the orientation
Oh, okay.
training.
Okay,
And you have to, but based off of our bylaws, you have to do the orientation training at least once every 4 years.
okay,
The state law requires an annual budget training for all Go Team members. So that's state law. You have to do the annual budget training. And then APS policy requires an annual ethics training. If you are an
Yes.
employee of Atlanta Public Schools, the ethics is a condition of your employment. So you do not need to do the Go Team ethics. But if you are not an employee of Atlanta Public Schools, then you do have to do the Go. And on a Go Team, you have to do the ethics, our Go Team ethics. Does that make sense to everybody?
got it.
And then from time to time, just really quick, since I'm talking about trainings, you'll see that we have what we call G3 conversations. These are optional, but they are opportunities for Go Team members to do a deeper dive into topics that are relevant either to Go teams on the whole or the district. Okay, that help? Yay.
All right, we have reached the end of our agenda. If there isn't any additional business at this time, then may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
A second
Uh,
that, Porter.
wait.
Second.
I think is there a second?
I
Porter
think
will
Miss
second that.
Watkins,
Oh,
yeah, I think Miss Watkins, right?
Well, Watkins made the motion,
She,
and I think
yeah,
Porter seconded.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Perfect. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Quigley.
Bye.
Thank you.
Aye.
All in favor, no abstentions and no nays. All right, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
y'all.
everyone.
Thanks. If y'all need anything, just reach out to the Go team office. We're here to help.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.